Alright, we got a new chapter of The Good Dr. Stone. The last one was themed around cryptography, sending secret messages to one another. It wasn't really the full exploration of, single-use pads and stuff that I was hoping for it to be, but whatever. It was a good time still. This one also has a very intriguing title, Silently Science Pierces the Stone. So, they've been able to ascertain the location of the Soyuz capsule. They're able, even through Kohaku's bizarre hieroglyphics, to understand where it was located. Which means that they can go get the platinum ring, which means then they have their catalytic converter to produce as much of the revival fluid as they want, which means that conceivably, as soon as they get that ring, the entire crew of the Perseus can come back to life. Now, of course, they still want to go further. Senkyu, of course, wants his hands on that petrification weapon at pretty much any cost. It's one thing to sail around the world and find Y-Man and do all of that, but if there's multiple petrification devices just running rampant, that in itself is still a crisis on a global scale. So, I'm not quite sure what the ultimate end of this arc will be in terms of the overall plot line, but it's not over yet. Getting the capsule was just part one. So, Kohaku, jumping down the tree. What's she up to? What's she up to? Treasure chest left by Senkyu's father. Okay, so she's found the capsule itself. She's thinking back. You know what I would have liked to see? This is something they used to do. With just little gags. And I feel like it's not like they've stopped as per policy or whatever. But they just didn't do it this time, so I'm like, I wish they did this. Where, like, when the Stone Age people try to imagine something that Senkyu described to them, some, like, future thing, modern era thing, but they get it, like, totally wrong. So when she pictures the astronauts, they should be wearing, like I don't know, like a bucket over their head, and, like, the capsule is, like, I don't know, literally like a flying ship or something like that. I don't know, whatever. And of course, a small amount of Kohaku fan service, because that's just how they are. There's a magic metal that will allow us to revive everyone who's been petrified. Platinum. Crumbled. Even the outer metal shell was fortified by the wisdom of modern civilization. It couldn't stand up to thousands of years of exposure. Very smart. Good job, Kohaku. Recognizing this. It's inside. Ooh. So inside the capsule is stone. A big old ball of concrete. Assuming anything's left at all, that would have been the easiest way to make sure the contents were safe for who knows how long. Oh, I love this. Whenever Senkyu can, throughout history, causally figure out how things must be by, like, extrapolating the thought processes of his pseudo-father, the astronaut. That's satisfying. I just love stuff like that. So he's right. They encased everything in a big old ball of concrete. Preserved with a similar method. The hint it would be like this. Record was able to smash away the stone by force. Man, Kohaku is, like, really sharp. She's understood exactly why it's like this. She also knows, yeah, she can't just hammer away right now, unfortunately. The same everyone on the ship and the rest of the community is right before my eyes, but just out of reach. They can't make too much noise, right? Senkyu and this crew, the science crew, also knowing what Kohaku must be doing. It's something like a silent bomb. It's a magical doomsday device a delusional middle schooler might think of. Silent bombs really exist. Oh, this is such a fun exchange. I like that Suika does Senkyu's pose here too. I guess Senkyu's kind of doing Suika's pose, because Suika always runs around like this. So it's to show, like, his enthusiasm, and he's like, well, if it's a dumb middle schooler idea, call me a dumb middle schooler. And Suika just does it too, because it's time. Able to use the big concrete without making too much of a racket in residential areas. Silent bomb has a bit of branding. Key component is generally known as explosive demolition grout. Okay, alright. How the heck does this work? Oh, he's just going in on it. Alright, so they got plaster. So I think what they're trying to do here is that instead of like a blast, instead of a lot of explosive energy that'll just rip the concrete out, concrete is actually very porous, right? I'm pretty sure. It actually has like all sorts of bubbles and crevices and stuff inside of it. So that if you pour something into it, if you fill up all of those things, all that has to do is just kind of like just a little bit expand. Not a huge explosion, but just a small amount of force all over, and then it'll just shatter? Maybe? I don't know. Spy team, your mission is to crack open the treasure chest and snag the platinum slumbering inside. They deploy some more of their RC gorilla mobiles. These strange giant rats that have been tormenting the islanders. Amaryllis, embarrassing everyone. I mean, distracting everyone. A little embarrassing. Special dance of the master, which you might be so kind as to watch. Even Ginro Lita, is in awe. Start shaking those hips. Totally no way I can do that. Okay. Now the supplies have arrived. Again, Kohaku can't read. They can talk to her directly, though, so it's fine. But she has to kind of figure out, to some extent, what they're talking about. The Mice-mobiles? The Mice-mobiles. I love it. Drill a bunch of small holes. So your savage strength comes into play, Linus. Alright. So she tries to do some quick drilling before the origin of the sound can be discovered. Ginro starts making a big ruckus. Spear dance? Can't actually pull off the spear dance. Oh, but he can! Because in the end, don't forget, Ginro was a fighter too. He certainly was no Kinro, but he pulled his parts. He trained when he needed to. He can do this at least, even if he can't read. It's something. It's something. Nice, nice. Covering the sound of the drill. Fun, fun. Technically, I'm a guard back in the village. Some useless spear tricks in case I ever needed to turn tail without fighting. A lot of long hours of practice went into these. So, yeah, alright. That's pretty good. This is even more in character. But all he learned was impressive movements. He didn't learn how to fight with the spear. He just learned how to be impressive with the spear. So that everyone would go, okay, I'm fine with that. This is good. This is good. Each hole gets 2 chemicals. Stuff the tubes in there together. Green emerald green fluid is straight from sulfurina's lake. So that's sulfuric acid. White powder is called anhydrous calcium sulfate. Yeah, she's not listening at all. Push it all down with this plug thing. Okay, so she's cramming them into all the holes. Chemicals will mix inside the holes and form into gypsum crystals or plaster. It expands. Inside those skinny holes, the plaster's got nowhere to run. Shatter the concrete with 300 kilograms of powder per square centimeter. So, yeah, it takes a little bit for the chemical reaction to happen. But the whole time, quite silently, the concrete should be cracking apart. And sure enough, it has revealed. Thank you. There's no telling what you'll need in the future, but we're stuffing some rare rocks and metals in this treasure chest. There's gold, diamonds, platinum. This is cool too, because not just the platinum for the catalytic converter, but all sorts of other stuff that might be in this treasure chest could come into play sometime in the future. It's quite exciting, you know? It's like a little upgrade, a mid-arc power-up that could help them out in all sorts of ways in the future. But yes, the platinum, of course, the object of their desire. Thank you. I know that someday you can revive the whole world in a snap just like that. Well, it's not going to be so easy. You still got to actually go and find the statues. You still need enough raw materials of the other ingredients, even though that's quite trivial to find. It's not instant. So I'd hold off on this reverse Thanos, everyone back to life snap. But hey, they're making good progress. The pieces are all lined up now. They've got everything they need. Nothing happens in a snap, you big dummy. Hey, that's what I said. And I will someday, silently our science will pierce the stone. I love these conversations through time. When Senkyu knows exactly what he was thinking. He put in the platinum specifically because he had also worked out the formula for the revival fluid. I guess? Is that what he's suggesting? Or he just knows that in general, platinum is a good catalytic converter, and that maybe someday there would be some sort of chemical equation that would require the platinum to facilitate speedy conversion of tons and tons. All right, exciting. I love the way this arc is being paced. Every chapter feels like a significant milestone has been accomplished, and yet just the situation is so stacked against them. There's like so many factors at play that they can have milestone after milestone after milestone and still kind of have a lot of substantive arc content to get through. That's quite exciting. Yeah, nice chapter. Lots of really beautiful shots. Seeing his father, pseudo father, whatever, it always really inspires me. And just these wonderful shots of the dazzling night sky, reflecting the dazzling treasures within their chest, and some fun Ginro Lita action too. Yeah, all right, good times. Let's look forward to next week. Bye bye for now.